today, particularly if I can just say this, Mr. Chairman, for the grace that God has had upon our lives, the natural disaster that happened, the tornado. Our hearts are going to be praying for the citizens who are still trying to gather themselves with their homes and with their resources. But we can be very thankful for the goodness of God that no lives were lost, and there were no fatalities. And so may God help us to realize that He's trying to get our attention, and we have to do according to what His will is. And we're going to pray that God's will be done for this town and also for the citizenship who have lost their possessions and some lost their homes. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for giving us the grace to gather here today, and we thank you for the town leadership, those who are involved in decision makings. We thank you, Father, for the first responders and all those who responded, Father, and did the best they could in this catastrophe that has shooken many of us. We ask that you would continue to give them the system and the strategies to deal with sudden emergencies as this. We thank you for, Lord, just how you have spared us. It could have happened anywhere. It could have hit our schools and our homes and other places, but you spared us, oh God, during this time. And so I pray your blessings upon our town, our police officers, our firemen, all those who are first responders, oh God, to this horrific experience. We pray that you'd give our town council wisdom in making decisions that will give us graces to be able to have established avenues of restoration, that we would be what you've called us to be and do what you've ordained for us to do as effectively as possible. Bless this meeting. Give your council leaders wisdom, knowledge, and understandings for the decisions that are to be made with all men in mind. Bless us, oh God, as we gather today in Jesus' name. And we all say, amen.
Please remain standing and add your own thoughts for a moment of silence. Thank you all. Mr. January, would you call the roll of the council, please?
Sure, Mr. Bella. Vice President Neal.
Here.
Councilwoman Haynes Edwards.
Present.
Councilwoman Chandler Felton.
Present.
Councilwoman Usler.
Present.
Councilman Pettit.
Here.
Councilwoman Hardaway.
Here.
President Bella.
Here.
7 present.
Has anyone seen Chief Yurga?
He's not coming.
He's out here.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, I did see that. Moving on tonight to public comments. If you have a public comment, please approach the podium and we welcome your comment for 3 minutes. Is there any public comment this evening? Please state your name and address for the record.
Oh, yes, my name is Sharon Kirby White. I live at 8635 Harrison Street in Merrillville. First of all, I don't know, now that I'm nervous, standing up here nervous now.
Take your time.
The reason I'm here this evening, and I know we've had a tragedy, in our community, and it was very kind of close to, where I live, so that impacted me. So my comment is that I know for a couple of years, we've had cones, the orange cones in front of my house on the sidewalks, okay, where the sidewalks are buckling. Well, immediately after the storm, with all the trees falling, and with all that damage going on, I'm looking out in front of my house. I have this huge tree in front of my house that, and I've got the buckled sidewalks, and I've got the cones. This cone has been there for 2 years. Yeah, I took a picture of it because it has a, what do you call it, dandelion growing out of it. It's been there so long. A weed or whatever. So I know this has been an ongoing problem. Last year I was here, I spoke to Steve King.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Spoke to him about it, and he said it wasn't in the budget last year. I know it probably won't be in the budget this year because of all the damage, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention again. These sidewalks have buckled so bad on my street, on Harrison Street, and the street adjacent to mine, that the sidewalks have buckled up because of the roots from the trees. And I know at that time, well, last year, this is because they planted the wrong trees. So they matured, and my unit is like 23 years old. So my tree has got to, maybe, I don't know, it's huge. I've got pictures of it. And that's why the sidewalks are broken. So I just wanted to bring that to the council's attention again, that we need to address it. I don't know if you put, how to put it on the agenda. If you want to come back and talk about it again, I will. But it's important to me, especially with this huge tree in front of my house and in front of several of our homes. I own the townhouse. So there's a huge tree in front of my house. There's one right next door to my neighbor. Up and down my block, there are a lot of these huge trees that have matured. And it's a concern to me after seeing all those trees topple over by the wind. And I look out my front window and I've got this huge tree. So that's my concern, okay?
So 8635 Harrison Street.
8635.
Haven't we discussed this before?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm just want to see the book.
No. But I will ask Ms. Shine to make a notation so that she can check with the Public Works office tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am.
I am Marcella Delavalade Amos. I've been a resident of Merrillville for many, many years. I have on numerous occasions come to this council asking about an emergency preparedness plan, only to be told it's being tweaked. It's online. I found one from 2016. We then had a multi-unit fire, I believe 30-plus unit fire in Tiburon, and I was told that it was tweaked. I had someone from our group asking to see a copy of that. We still have not seen a copy of that, the new tweaked emergency preparedness plan. I told you guys I've been dealing with emergency preparedness, Red Cross, COAD, which is Community Organizations Active in Disasters. I know a little bit about emergency preparedness. I have connections. We just had a disaster. I bless God that we, like Pastor Walton said, we had no fatalities. My neighborhood was not affected, but that does not mean that I was not affected. When one of us is affected, and here in our town, we are all affected.
Yes.
I am shaking, I am livid, I am sick. I have been out every single day. Our group, team, has been out, boots on the ground. From day one, the tornado, we're calling each other, what is needed, where do you need us? Chainsaws, out working, helping people, volunteering. Petty, thank you for calling me back. Shauna, thank you. Leona, thank you. Eric, thank you. Blackman, trustee's office, thank you. I hope I didn't forget him. Tell your dad, Richard Hardaway, thank you. We have been calling different places. There's no reason why we should not have had a shelter here in Merrillville. Why did our people have to go to Highland? We now have one, I was told this morning. It'll be at Pierce. Our people should not have had to go all the way to Highland. We have people that work here in Merrillville, live here in Merrillville. They can't get to work because they have no cars. Why? Because we don't have an emergency preparedness plan here.
Yes.
There is no reason for that. None. That brings another thing. We talked about data centers. Yes, I'm going to bring up the data centers. We talk about the different hazards of data centers. Our group has been called complainers, doomsday people, and uneducated. That is by a resident on the advisory council.
Amen.
Bella, I've asked you, can I be on that advisory council now? You need people who are not going to be puppets. Someone that's not going to just agree with everything, and someone that's not just looking for a job in IT. I have something I would like to read. Here, this was a natural disaster. Again, I've been to fires. I was a second responder. When firefighters were called to Lake and Porter County, I was there. Whether it was a fatality, home and fully in blaze, I'm there. When a large data center catches fire and burns out of control, it acts like a massive chemical fire versus a typical building blaze. Toxic air emissions come out. Hydrofluoric acid, heavy metals, and e-waste combustion. Hold on, I got more, hold on. Contaminated fire water runoffs, heavy metal chemical leaching when firefighting water mixes with melted electronics, burned battery components, and chemical fire suppressants. The resulting runoff becomes highly contaminated. We also have, hold on, ecosystem damage. If this toxic runoff is not properly contained, it goes into our local soil, groundwater aquifers, or nearby stormwater drains, devastating local aquatic life, plant, and water ecosystems. Forever chemical fire suppressants. Many data centers use specialized clean agent fire suppression systems to protect sensitive service from water damage. Backup generator fuel spills. There are so many other hazards for data centers. That's also something we need to look at. Again, for any council people that might not have come out and have been very active with this disaster, shame on you. Whether it was your ward or not, whether it was your neighborhood or not, it affects every last one of us.
Please finish up.
I am appalled at how our council and our town has reacted. We should be proactive.
Could you write down your email address and give it to Mr. Griffin tonight? So we can send you the disaster plan, which is in place, and I want your resume so we can consider you for the committee, okay?
You need my resume?
You know who you are and what you, okay?
Okay, you didn't ask that. I've asked you. I sent you an email requesting that, and I spoke to you.
I've been a little busy with some other things. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but the town should be important.
It is important. That's what I've been busy with. You're right. I totally agree.
My name is Sierra Shaw, and I am here tonight to bring to the town's attention that there is a hotel here that are illegally removing tornado victims from their rooms. The standards of these hotels are insane. We have a tornado victim that paid up and got back to her room using the key card to find all of her belongings removed from her room. So technically, yes, she's still there, her key card still worked, but they kept all the food that I took to this friend for her and her babies. And then to get there to see, she could barely close her hotel room door. She can't see through the peephole. There's water damage everywhere, there's bed bugs, there's mucus on the side of the wall. We've called the health department. We've been told that it was an investigation done, but they didn't find anything. There's no way that was cleaned up in this time. So money that's needed to keep a roof over her head, she wasn't reimbursed, and she had already slept in a car with her kids. And you have a hotel that was sold from this family in this time that's still able to operate their business has to go. She's not the first black family that that has happened to. And although it may have happened to many families, they have not come forward. But we have evidence, and we're asking for you guys to go and obtain a real investigation. Because seeing 3 rooms is not enough. Hearts breaking. You were going to take her food. We kept the food because we didn't want to go bed. We're going to go bed when she's sleeping in the car again with her kids because she was illegally removed because you got upset because we had to complain about the conditions. And by fair, like, don't call it a hotel. Call it a motel. The standard is a little bit lower. Price is a little bit more affordable. But charges $75 a night, $82 a night, $117, it was this past Friday, a night for the standards with no air conditioner. The water in the shower sprinkles out, so they still taking little sink baths, and you cannot refund somebody money. Call the police, have a police report. Did all of that. But it's still not making sense that we have to wait on funds. These people, a lot of people were one paycheck away from the street already. And then you got a natural disaster to take place, and we're still waiting on funds. We're still waiting on funds. They gotta apply, they gotta get their documents from their management companies with their proof of addresses, their IDs, their income. But what do they have right now? Because once they find their room, they need to keep it so they don't have to sleep out their cars anymore. You ain't know it's limited spaces, as this young lady said, they were all the way on in Highland, which was not by far easy for people to get to. That should have never been the first choice anyway when they reside in Merrillville. So I'm begging y'all to take a deeper investigation to the Baymont and Suites here in Merrillville. Because there's no way that they should be able to put somebody out illegally and get away with it and keep this girl's money. Corporate ain't called back, ain't nobody replied as they should, because obviously it's not that important to them because they get to go lay in their bed. While you got a mother out here who does have a job, who's not just sitting up here on welfare, doing the best that she can under the circumstances that she now has to face every day to keep a roof over her kids' head. So that's what I'm urging this council, this town to do. Don't allow no business to operate and treat your people that way. It's disgraceful. Good evening. To follow up to, I'm Cachet Griffin. To follow up to what my sister stated, first of all, the young lady's name that we're here representing is Mary Barnes. Her location is 2833 West 61st Place, apartment 4C. She is completely displaced. My issue is, it's not just the Baymont. And the fact that the Baymont has been a consistent issue in this township for some time, and nothing has been done about it. She's not the first person that this has happened to. But for it to happen during a time like this, when funds are limited, everything is nothing but uncertainty for this family right now. It's devastating. Because not only did they still have her things that we just provided her with, they stole a necklace that her deceased mother gave her. And these people refuse to give it back. They treat you like complete and utter trash. And it's not just the Baymont. You may want to look into the Quality Inn as well. I have a video. They shouldn't even be open. And she scrapped up money. People donated to her to stay in this raggedy hotel for $100 a night. The bathroom door was broken. I have a video that would devastate you. There's no way in the world the health inspector is over there and stating that there are no findings. There's no way. Absolutely no way. And again, it's not, I'm sure it's all of these hotels because they're price gouging right now. Imagine the devastation of these families who have nothing. They were literally one paycheck away from a destruction that it has occurred. And now what do? You continue to sleep in your car with your 2 young children. What do these families have, Merrillville? I'm new to the area and I'm ready to go back home. I'm from Chicago, and I know how y'all feel about Chicagoans. But they ain't doing their people like this. This is beyond devastating, and something needs to be done with the fact that your police department is frustrated with the Baymont should be an issue. Every officer that came out told us that they're out there every single day. We've had the opportunity to have some in-depth conversations. They are beyond frustrated. And they say that this happens on a regular basis, so how does it keep happening and they're still open? How is it that they're getting citations and they're still open? Something has to be done. Because guess what? According to the news, Tornado Alley is shifting. Yeah. This may not be the last time that this happens. So what are we going to do for our residents? And understand this, please understand this. Don't judge people for not having insurance. Understand this, that the insurance money that they would have, they have to spend that on groceries these days. They have to spend that on gas these days to get to these jobs, y'all. So everybody can't afford insurance, whether it's necessary or not. It's just not in some people's budgets. But after a disaster like this, housing is needed. That's what's most important. There are people who are willing to help. They're not doing this for tax donations or nothing. They're just giving because they know that the need is there. So why should they have to pay $230 a night during a time like this? You got to do better for your people, Merrillville.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, how everybody doing? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm a father myself. My name is Jerry Christner, born 265 Taft Street. I'm here to, I guess, piggyback off the Baymont situation. So my issue was something that happened 6 years ago, which I feel like is kind of not necessarily valid, but because my story ties to the same place that the last two women were complaining about. So I'm just read it off here. Good evening. My name is Jerry Christopher, and I want to speak on my experience working at the Baymont Inn in Merrillville. About 6 years ago, after leaving my employment there, I never received my final paycheck. When I attempted to get my wages, I was falsely accused of theft. The police were called, but no criminal charges was filed against me. The paycheck issue was never properly resolved, and the experience left me feeling powerless and unfairly treated. More importantly, it raises concerns for me about how employees were being treated and how workplace disputes were handled. Recently, I've seen other community members come forward with complaints involving the same property. While their experience may differ from mine, it shows why accountability and oversight matter. I'm not here asking for special treatment. I'm asking that concerns raised by employees, guests, and residents be taken seriously and investigated fairly. Businesses operating in our community should be held to professional standards and should treat both workers and customers with respect. That's all I got. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ashley Carmichael, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Baymont as well. I used to reside at 2405 West 63rd Avenue, Merrillville, Indiana. Me and my family have been in Merrillville for a little over a year after we were displaced from Chicago from a house fire. This is the second disaster we have gone through besides that house fire, this being in a tornado. The first 2 nights after the tornado, unfortunately, everything was booked up completely. So we were forced to sleep in the car, me and my 3 children and my husband. We're forced to sleep in the car just so we would be able to have a charger or to have air conditioning, just to have somewhere safe after the tornado. I was able to look online through the Wyndham app, and I found a hotel room at the Baymont. So of course, this being the first thing that was available since this had happened, I jumped right on it. Didn't know that I would regret it. Once we got in there, I checked in. The lady at the front desk, I don't even know her real name. She just threw the key at me. There was no conversation. I just told her, I had a reservation. I showed her my phone, and she said, And then she checked me in, did everything on the computer, gave me the key, and just threw it on the counter. After it already took her 10 minutes to come to the front counter because she was in the back office with the door closed. So I'm like, hey, okay, well, I know this isn't right, but at this point, I can't complain too much because we don't have anywhere to go. Then I'm like, okay, kids, we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna take a nice hot shower, and we're gonna lay down, and we're gonna finally relax. Just to get up there, and there's no towels. The water in the shower sprinkles, it barely works. So then I go back downstairs, and now one of the housekeepers are down there, and I said, can we get some towels? And she said, what room are you in? I said, I'm in room 320. She said, okay, because towels don't come with rooms because people steal towels. So I said, okay. She said, so how many of there are you? And I said, there's 6 of us. She said, okay. And even so, she only gave me 2 dry-out towels and 4 face towels. So thank God I was able to go to the store because we had been in the street, so we were, taking little bird baths in the car, things like that. So I had some little sponges and bottles of water and stuff, so that's how we had been washing up for the first 2 days. And then now that we're in here, and now me and my children are sleeping in this bed, we wake up and we all scratching. We all got bite marks. We all just swole up, everything. And so I went to the front desk and I told them, I think there's something in the room that's biting us, or I don't know if we're allergic to the bedding or something like that. So then they gave me new sheets. They gave me sheets to put on the bed. They said, okay, well, just change the sheets. It may just be that. Just change the sheets. I said, okay. So now I'm up there and I asked them for the vacuum cleaner because now I'm vacuuming out the room. I asked them for the mop. I had to go 3 floors to find a housekeeper that even had a mop on her cart. And I finally found one. So I went up there and I vacuumed out the room. I mopped the floors. I changed all the sheets ourselves. Did all of this. The next night, it happened again. And I'm just like, okay, no, this isn't right. To the point where now I can't sleep because I feel like I'm being bitten. To the point where I caught one biting my hand. The biggest bed bug I have ever seen. We have never experienced anything like that. the first thing I did was I went straight downstairs, and I told them, I just got bit by bed bugs. I said, me and my children have been complaining to you all about these bite marks and stuff, and you all are just telling us, oh, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. But then now I've caught one, and now I have pictures. And they tell me, oh, well, unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do because we're completely booked, so I can't put you in the room. Not an apology. There was no sympathy. There was nothing, but just brushed it off. Oh, okay. So then now I'm upset. I'm going back upstairs. I said, come on, we're going to go back to the car. But then my husband's like, well, do we want to go back to the car? Because if we go back to the car, now we're taking that to the car. So now if we go anywhere else, it's going to go and follow us. I said, okay, darn, now you're right. You're right. So now I can't sleep. So I went and I sit in the chair. Now my whole right arm has been eaten up just sitting in the chair. And I said, okay, this can't be life. This can't be life. So now as I'm sitting up here making sure my kids aren't scratching, I'm sitting up here with the phone, the flashlight on my phone, I'm just looking at under all the beds, and I'm just like, and I find some in my children's bed. And it's like, well, what can I do when I have absolutely nowhere to go? Nowhere to go. I don't have family I can turn to or anything like that, so we're just stuck here. So then I'm on my phone, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and now I'm searching the website, and I'm reading the reviews. And there's a review on there that said they were at the Baymont on June 8th. And then stayed in room 320, where at 1 o'clock in the morning they were awakened by them being bitten by bed bugs. So that means they knew that they had bed bugs. And then you sit up here and you allow me and my family, me and my children, to be in this room for it to happen to us. So not only did you sit there and ignore the first complaint, because they were saying on their review, oh, they did nothing, they didn't want to compensate us, we reached out to everyone else, even when they booked through Trivago. And Trivago even reached out on their behalf, and still nothing. So now I'm just like, okay, well, they had to have known this. So then I took that time and I messaged the town of Merrillville through Facebook. I sent a long message through Messenger. I sent the message through the different news people from Channel 9, Channel 7, Channel 2, different newscasters. I sent the message to Wyndham themselves. I sent the message to Baymont. And still, I have heard back nothing. Nothing. I've sent pictures. I've sent videos. I've sent the pictures of the bite marks of me and my children. I've sent the pictures of the bed bugs that I found. And still, I've got nothing. Now, unfortunately, I'm not one of the ones that I have a good paying job, because right before this disaster, I had just lost my job because of transportation handling. So then now I'm out here and I'm scraping up tubes and views. And so now we're back to sleeping in cars because I can't afford to stay in another hotel room. Hotel rooms cost me $200-300 just for a night, just for one night. And so now in the time that we've all been misplaced, I've been in 7 different hotels. All because I have to try to find rates because I can't afford to renew it, or I can't afford to extend my stay. So now I'm receiving help from someone else, and then there's another additional $100 deposit that they don't tell you about on any website, but once you get there, there's a $100 deposit. Now the little money that I did have is still being held up in the bank because I haven't received any of these deposits back. And so it has just been very, very difficult, and it's been very depressing, to the point where I'm trying not to have my kids see me cry. To the point where I tell my husband, baby, I can't do this anymore, and I'm ready to give up. Because where are we going to go? What are we going to do? And it's the fact that even so with these people, knowing that what they did was wrong, they still have not tried to reach out and say, okay, well, when they try to, we can give you points and put you in another one of our hotels. They just told us they're just using their name. They have nothing to do with that because they're individually managed and individually owned. So yet still, we're still just out here with nowhere to go. With nowhere to go. With the help that we do receive, and we are so blessed with the help that we have received, that we were able to have 2 nights for the last 2 nights at the Wood Springs. And even so with them, it came with a little mini kitchen, but I didn't have pots and pans to cook with. So now the little money that I do have, I have to still feed my family. So if I don't eat, but I still have enough money to just feed my kids. And when I go home, it's just that they have something to eat. It's right. And but it's just a life that we have been forced to just even be put in these situations, and then for these people to still be holding on to my money. And then even after I checked out, Baymont was still trying to charge my card. And I had to lock my bank card every time. It was every 10 minutes. They were saying trying to give me for $80, $80. I said, I don't understand why they still trying to charge me, and they still owe me a deposit. And I just think that they do need it back, needs to be shut down, and the fact that I never even heard anything back from the city of Merrillville, from the town of Merrillville, thank you. From the town of Merrillville, when I sent this long, drawn-out message, the very morning that it happened, explaining to you all what was going on, and it showed me through Messenger that someone had opened it and someone had read it, but I had not received a reply. I had not received a reply, and I have those messages screenshotted and everything, and I'm just like, at this point, I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares, and it shouldn't be like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert L. Bugg. I live at 4002 Rhode Island Street in Gary. I was contacted about the situation about your residents. These are Merrillville residents. And I went out there as NAACP as a fact finding, gather information. I know you've heard about the conditions in the hotel and probably you can't do anything about that. But what I provided a little package, I did 4 of them, so you all can share it, dating back from 2019 through 2026, which you can do something about. Is if you see something else, you can do something about the mold. You can do something about the electrical wire that was flickering or electricity. You can do something about the smoke detectors hanging out of the ceiling, and in some cases, no smoke detectors whatsoever. That you can do something about. You can also do something about the doors to the rooms that they rent to the people could not lock. There was no deadbolt lock. It's unsafe. I have pictures of where the lock is just hanging out. These things that you can do something about, by the way, the building inspector. The other thing is, I understand that the Lake County Health Department went out there. Now, included in that packet is a medical diagnosis of one of this lady's children, her 12-year-old daughter. All 4 of them went to the doctor, but I just showed you one, where they identified bug bites at the hotel he was living at. Now, I understand I did a FOIA request. I haven't got the information that you all renewed that license for Mr. His name is SRLDH Patel. He's the owner. Last fall. Obviously, I'm not pointing any fingers, but somebody did not do an inspection. Because these complaints that I have provided for you all date back from 2019 through 2026, and they're consistent. Look at them. I have many more. I just put a few of them there so you all can see them. Because I know that, like I said, you can't do anything about the no towels and no toilet paper, the rude attitude, no food, showers, the heat not working. But you can't do something about the heat not working and the air not working. That is a code violation. So I would ask that you all act aggressively, not revoke that hotel's right to continue to operate. That should be done immediately. Because those bed bugs didn't just go away because this health inspector, what I understand, he only inspected 3 rooms. 3 rooms, and he didn't find anything. I'm not an inspector. I went out there myself and I saw some things, and I didn't go in the room. I'm talking about from downstairs, from the front desk. That is deplorable. And the other thing is, I don't know why in the world the Red Cross is sort of suspect to me, because the citizens of Merrillville were damaged by a tornado, and the Red Cross wants them to go to Highland. Something wrong with that.
Yes.
Real wrong with that.
No shelters here.
Then I found out yesterday that they closed the center in Highland. Now, some of these people are not homeowners, because the homeowners, they're gonna get a fat check from the insurance company. Some of them were renters, so what do? They're your citizens, and I think it's your responsibility to take care of them and address this problem by number one, shutting that hotel down immediately. The police officers, they've been there many, many times. You can check for yourself the minimum reports. But what I prepared for you, you can see from 2019 through 2026, no smoke detector hanging down, black mold on the wall. One person said they even got a lock inside of the bathroom. The lock was broke off from the outside, so they went inside, couldn't get out. There's also reports where they was given gloves to clean their own room. I have pictures of bed sheets that are stained. I have pictures of the big bed bugs. That is unacceptable for anybody. Now, one other thing, and I'm not pointing the fingers, but I came to the town of Merrillville administration right after I left the hotel, and they said that they didn't know about it. But this is from the lady that was up here a few minutes ago, that she sent to Merrillville asking for help. So something is wrong. So, as I said, you can't do anything maybe about the attitudes and everything, but you can do something about those code violations, those gross code violations and unsafe. Anybody can pay money for their room and don't have any safety. Anybody can just walk in. That's untrue. That's unacceptable. One of the complaints I gave you, they rented a room to a person, they went in the room, there's already people in there. I didn't make this up. Those are the complaints you can read for yourself.
Excuse me, may I just say something real quick? I did get a call from Red Cross that said that Pierce School has been approved to be a shelter now for the Red Cross. So that is, I believe, what going forward is where the shelter will be.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Richard Malone. I live at 2444 West 64th Place. I'm a new resident of Merrillville. Born and raised in Gary, Indiana. I left here in 1977. I lived in the state of Washington for over 40-something years. I'm a licensed electrician, and I was always taught with great abundance is great responsibility.
Yes.
I came to this meeting because, for one, I came here earlier today. I don't know if this the security guard. How you doing? Let me in, and he guided me to a couple places because I was concerned. I was out of town when this tornado came. I was affected by it because I was going to a family reunion out of town. It took 2 days for me to even get to where I was going, and then another day and a half to get back home. So my daughter luckily lives close enough, within 3 miles of my home in Merrillville, that she came by to check to make sure. And I knew my power was off for these 4 days. And I didn't come here to complain. My posture here is I need to be a good neighbor wherever I live. To be a good neighbor, I have to help my neighbors. So I got a couple of concerns. One was today, I got directed to the right place. And I went in, and I've noticed since I've been here, every jurisdiction in the state of Indiana has their own electrical department, fees for taking tests, fees for becoming a contractor, and none of that I want to do. I'm retired. I'm 76 years old. But after the storm, I decided I need to do what I can do. There's a lot of things I can't do, but I'm willing to give my time and effort to help my neighbors. And I was told that, I had to fill out an application, which I will do. I have to take a test, which I will do. I've gone through this before. I didn't realize that every jurisdiction has a fee and a test. My license in the state of Washington covered the entire state, parts of Oregon, and parts of Canada. I don't understand why every jurisdiction has to have these fees, which I'm not seeing that things are being done the way I'm used to having them done. So, this is where I live. I'm gonna start here first, but I intend to spread this further throughout the state. It's ridiculous. You're charging this money and nothing's being done. If inspections aren't being done properly, then that department needs to close. I am here to be a help to you guys in any way I possibly can. This disaster didn't affect me. My house was spared. I got back and I went 1 block west of my house and I saw some of the devastation. I went a 2nd block. There were houses with no roofs, some of them with just 2 walls. So I feel really blessed that I was spared from all of this. So I feel in my soul, in my heart, that I have to do something to give back to my community. I'm a new resident here, but I'm willing to participate and make things happen. Not to complain, just to make things happen. I'm not minimizing anything anybody else has said here today. Those things need to be addressed. But my sister lives in Merrillville, and when I found out, she's asked me to come to these meetings before. I'm still in the process of moving. I haven't unpacked everything. I've only been here 2 years, and I should have had everything unpacked. But it's been a process. I was there almost 50 years. And I decided to move back here because this was where I was raised. This is an area where I was raised. And I got my values that I hold on nearly and dearly to my soul here in this area. So I'm here just to say that we need to work together. And I have one gripe, and it's not really a gripe. If the data centers come to this area, they need to become neighbors of this community. I've seen it elsewhere. They need to become neighbors of this community, so they share in all the ups and downs of this community. They don't come here just for the money. So if I have anything to say about it, I think they need to put their feet to the fire and make sure that they're going to be good neighbors, not just now, for the entire time they're here.
Thank you, sir.
Ryan Messart, 68th Place. I would like to change gears and thank everybody. Thank you for all your time and effort over the past couple of weeks. The fire, the police, you guys, outstanding. Stormwater, Matt, you guys, awesome. There's the street department, Steve's not here. He's doing awesome. The admin office is fielding a bunch of calls. I want to thank you guys for listening, because sometimes there's heartbreak, sometimes there's emotion, stress is high, and people, they need to vent, and you guys allowed that tonight. I think that we need to have a slightly better plan, because we have a huge community center, and our community needed a place, and that should have been placed, doors should be open. But beyond that, we should be working with the school system as well. Ross Township can't be doing everything, and the high school, the peers, they have locker rooms, they have showers. We need to be able to have something where everyone comes together, at least for a short period of time, at least for a couple of weeks. It's heartbreaking that people get tossed out of their home, and then they have no place other than their car, and that's the safest place for them to be. We also need to think about having a process that streamlines volunteers. I would love to volunteer. I just don't know where to go. They ask, people are like, I'll just post it on Facebook. That's not exactly. The town should have, just like Ross Township, somebody where it's like, hey, we're going to keep track. what can you do? How can you help? That's what we need. The last time we had a tornado come through, it wasn't as bad, but that was a little bit of a clue that maybe we needed some of these things. And I don't want to criticize, because a lot of people don't see what you guys are doing in emergency meetings, at 2 o'clock in the morning, phone calls. People don't see any of that. But you know that you're doing it. You know that you're taking the phone calls. You know you're listening to the stories. We need to do a better job where it's just like, we're going to get these people in the right places to help the right people, and then we can move forward as a community, because that's what our community needs the most. And how we come about doing that is not the day of the storm or the day after the storm. On a bright sunny day, we need to have a picnic and figure it out and then move forward. So that's what I urge our town to do, is come up with just a big, loose thing where it's like, oh, it's so-and-so's person, get a hold of the school system, hey, we need to use the schools. Those schools should be open, and we should have people over there to monitor and all that, but allow the community to use that. Those are the sorts of things. Someone should be at the community center, come on in, we got air conditioning. That's what it's there for. And we need that. But overall, I want to thank everybody at the town of Merrillville who's been on this 24/7. We truly appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Councilwoman Chief, 5550 Adams Street, Merrillville. I just want to say that there was at least 3 of us on the town council who were also affected by this tornado, and before we even thought about ourselves, we were boots to ground to make sure that our residents in every ward, not just our ward, was taken care of. And so even with the rest of the town council, we were, like Brian said, you didn't know what we were doing behind closed doors, but we were all together trying to figure out a plan. Yes, the emergency evacuation plan has been tweaked, but we are working on it. And when things happen like that, we just don't know at that moment what it looks like. So I do want to give kudos to my council members that did step up. We worked together, each one of us, to figure out a plan. Even Chief Nooses, Matt, Steve, Ed Yerger, we were out there and we were trying to make sure that we could do the best that we could. This was beyond just the town of Merrillville. And so we just want to say that we understand, especially those of us that were affected by what happened, we understand what you're going through. We didn't think twice about ourselves, but we got up and we made sure that the ones that we could help, no matter if that was us putting on some gloves, some shoes, picking up debris, giving phone calls. I want to say firsthand that Ross Township trustee Eric Blackman and his chief deputy Antigua Austin, they were in collaboration with the town of Merrillville. Chaz Rowley did a phenomenal job with making sure that communication went across the board. Our town manager, Michael Griffin, we were literally 5 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm like, why are they texting? But we made sure that we got things handled the best way we could. So we do know what you went through to a certain extent. We didn't lose our homes, but we did have we were affected by what took place with that storm. And so I just want to let you all know from the entire council, we have empathy for what our residents did go through. So we just want to thank you all for being understanding for those who have given us kudos. The Ross Township Trustee's Office is still continuing to give supplies to Red Cross, Salvation Army, the town of Merrillville, NIPSCO. We have been giving out supplies. We have been diligently working to try to get what we can for our residents. So.
I think it might be the last one. I just want to let everybody know on Channel 7 at 5 o'clock, they stated that the Red Cross and the Salvation Army is asking for volunteers for Friday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning to be there at 61st and Taft to assist.
Cleveland.
Thank you.
Taft or Cleveland?
Cleveland, I'm sorry, Cleveland. At 8 o'clock in the morning, they're asking for volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Moving on tonight to the consent agenda, we have the accounts payable register voucher approval of June 23rd, the approval of the town council meeting minutes of June 9th, the approval of the special town council meeting minutes of June 19th, the letter from Lamar intent to obtain licenses in 2 different numbers, as you can see there.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Uselak, seconded by Councilman Leona.
I motion that we table this until we can look at the lease and see everything that's happening with, the intent.
You want to table the entire consent agenda?
Yes, please.
Yep.
For the Lamar, just for Lamar.
Both items on Lamar?
Yes, please.
Can you do that the way the motion is made, Joe? Yes, we do it.
So do I take back my motion?
I'm asking Counselor for that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We would have to remove these 2 items from the consent agenda
Okay.
and have them tabled until a later date.
Do we need to vote on Counselor Shee's motion and get a second?
Michael?
Mr. President, you would vote on that motion, even though you have one pending, that's a priority motion. Then you can take up the motion to do the rest of the consent agenda. Her motion's important because instead of just asking to pull them so that you could debate them, she wants them tabled. That's why that takes priority. As you know, on a consent agenda, anybody could ask anything to be put for a debate and a vote. In this case, this is a request for delay, I think, is actually a table is. We'll have it on your agenda next time, letting you to take it from the table. You want to delay it for review.
Yes.
Was there a second on Counselor Shee's motion?
Second.
Keisha. All in favor of removing the 2 Lamar items from the consent agenda tonight, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
1 abstention.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, everybody knows I work full-time for Lamar Advertising. And with all due respect to the counselors and what we've discussed, beating a dead horse, this letter of intent, I can tell you, is not going to change one bit. The dollar amount is not going to change one bit. TLC Properties is not going to pay for appraisals. That's going to fall on the taxpayers and the town council. This is a legitimate offer that I have made in my capacity. I've got 12 people that have already accepted these offers. I'm a little taken aback by why there's a question that Lamar wants to give the town of Merrillville $198,000 to do absolutely nothing. And I know we've talked about it, and there's a motion on the floor, Mr. President, but we talked about it in the workshop a couple times. And I've stated the position of my employer. And I'm taken aback a little bit as to why these 2 letters cannot be approved.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to add, I mean, just after doing the math, right now, we're currently getting about $16,500 from the 2 leases that are going to Lamar. Whether or not we sign this agreement or not, we'll probably continue to get that $6,500 from Lamar or whoever, and that value will probably go up over time. If you look at the present value of that, how much that would be worth, stretching out 98 years or 99 years based off of what the lease is going to be extended for. That's basically saying that the present value of that is $404,000. Lamar is only offering us $198,000. We're leaving too much money on the table. Just based off that. We can break even with the offer. If we just kept it as it is, we break even in 12 years. Just continue to get the $16,500. I think personally that would just be a bad deal, because we're just leaving too much money on the table, and I believe that's one of the reasons we're concerned about finances as a town like that right now, because that's just not a good deal.
But in the workshop, we also talked about taking the $198,000, Trista, along with the $120,000 you found in ARP, and allocating that to the 64 employees. We had that discussion in the workshop as well. All I need to know, ladies and gentlemen, it's a simple yes or no question. If you don't want the money, I need to report to TLC Properties tomorrow that you're not taking the money.
I thought you said we had until December to make this, to come up with this.
But again, Counselor, the dollar amount's not going to change what Mr. January is laying out. They're not going to increase that offer.
I understand that. I just would like to look at the lease. I think we all would like to look at the lease and see the jargon that's attached to it, because like he said, we're making we're gonna lose out on a big percentage if we go ahead.
President Ballard, the motion was set to table. Can we move on, please?
Yes. Any other discussion on the consent agenda, which is what we were talking about? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to special orders, we have ordinance 26-14. Counselor? This is verification by the town attorney for the validity of the proof of gateway.
Yeah, the proof of gateway publication has been reviewed, is in order, and at this time, the public hearing show.
Okay. I believe this is, Mr. Griffin, can you explain what the ordinance is quickly?
This is an additional appropriation to the general fund and first the Parks and Recreation Department, I believe. I'm sorry, for the planning department, to increase, we didn't anticipate for the planning department, I believe. This is an anticipated some extra hours. Is this the correct thing? Okay. Then we're also asking that the increases are for fire inspector costs, planning director, building director, and then the associated social security and InFirst for $73,400. Then we're asking for an additional appropriation of the Parks and Urban Capital Fund of $4,500, and that's in the capital outlay section. As you recall, we discussed this, that some of these are reimbursable to us through the capital fund established with the Legacy Foundation, but we have to have the additional appropriation to permit the expense to have a return to us. We're asking that you consider the input on this during your public hearing, and perhaps consider the additional appropriation ordinance for first reading this evening. We're not asking beyond that.
Is there any public comment tonight on ordinance 26-14 as described by the town attorney and Mr. Griffin? Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comments this evening, and we'll take up this item on the agenda later in the meeting. Moving on tonight to standing committee reports, budget and finance. Vice President Neal.
Thank you, President Ballard. I'm going to defer to Tricia. I think she has some information that we've been waiting for as far as support that was requested by one of our residents.
You're in the courts? No, Commissioner, yes.
Yeah.
Council will recall that we've looked several times over the years, since 21, I think, at the various revenues and expenditures that the court is involved with. Of course, you all know that the general fund is the big workhorse for the town's finances in general. It is supported by your property taxes that your residents and businesses in town pay. Each of your departments within the town, except for the street department, have pieces of that general fund revenue to use toward their expenses. The court is no different than that. The court does also receive some miscellaneous revenues that are produced through their operations. The town receives some portions of the court fines that are paid, the court costs that are paid, and a variety of other statutory things. Those are relatively small. But it is revenue back to the general fund nonetheless, and can help support some of the expenses that the court has. As well, there are some other miscellaneous funds that have been in operation for various court operations, but those have not been able to be used now, really since 2020, including a court probation fund, a public defender fund, and a record perpetuation fund. Those three funds in the past had received miscellaneous revenues as well, such as probation fees, public defender fees, records fees that are allowable by statute. And those fees are collected when there is full operation of the court through its caseload. Because those miscellaneous revenues have not been produced through court procedures, then those funds have not been able to be used for several years. You can't spend money or cash that you don't have. And so all of the court's funding in the last several years has been through the general fund. Most recently then,
I don't know that we've had really a report on court expenses since somewhere very early 2025. And I believe that's what Councilor Neal is asking to update you on today, are those specifics then. In 2025, and I think actually to give some context, let me include 2024 if I might. Because of the change of when some of the court operations were reinstated to a little bit more higher level than they had been over a few years. So I do think it's fair and appropriate to include that. In 2024, the court revenues to the general fund were $80,000, plus a few extra pennies. I'll be rounding off a little bit. In 25, those revenues went up to $97,000. So there was an increase of $17,000 of the general fund gained from those fees I mentioned at the beginning. I was able to collect a financial report through the clerk's office yesterday, and so this isn't quite a 6-month time period when we would be able to double, but it's relatively close. And as of June 22nd, yesterday, $69,500 had been the revenue generated through the court operations to the general fund. In regard to the expenses, in 2024, the court actually overspent its budget at $503,000. The budget was several, $20-ish thousand below that. In 25, they underspent the budget that was assigned, and it had been a consistent, you recall, a consistent amount at $481,000 for several years. In 25, they underspent it at an amount of $449,000 was the spend, so underspent it by about $30,000. So for this year, again, as of yesterday's financial report, they've spent $255,000. That does concern me as your financial advisor. If in fact they stayed on that trend, you would be looking then at $500, which would again be over their budget that they are assigned through the budget process. As you know, state statute dictates that departments and the town as a whole are to spend within the budget that the DLGF approves, and the court's department of the general fund is one of the funds approved by the DLGF for the state. I do have these worksheets for each of you. If you prefer them now, I can hand them after the meeting. If you prefer them at the next workshop that we have, I will have them available at that time as well. The next 3 pages of the worksheet include a little bit more detail of each of the line items by category for the funds that we've talked about. Again, you've seen them before, they're simply updated. It does go back to 2011 like it has from the beginning, which was the last time that there was some positive gain financially from the court as far as its operational contributions financially to the overall budget that the court has. And so we've just shown that entire history for you all to have that as you move along and look forward. Was there anything else, Councilor Neal, that you wanted more specifically?
No, thank you. I hope that you were able to answer the questions for the resident that was requesting information.
If I might add also, Councilor Neal and I have talked about the department head budget, initial budget workshop dates. I'm working on the final touches on that worksheet right now, and we'll be sending that out to the department heads. We are looking at next Monday and Tuesday for just some initial meetings. We know it's very short, but there are some things that we should collectively talk about for that budget as we then look for some more in-depth conversations again in July and into August.
So we're running just a little bit behind as our normal with the budget meetings due to all the activities that happen in town. So we're just catching up, right? Scheduling those meetings for next week.
And Trista, we still don't know what our tax draw is going to be until we receive it from the county, is that right? Mr. January, you have no deposit yet, right?
No.
It's true. I did hear some reliable information yesterday that the auditor's office is completed with all the calculations and has the distributions, which is what the tax draw is called, for their purpose to send it to you. They distribute it to each of the communities, but that it's ready and that the auditor is just waiting on some final approval to receive that. There have been years when we've gotten it a week ago on the calendar, meaning the 15th-ish, There have been some years that it hasn't come until the 30th. The deadline is the end of the month, and so they're not overdue. We're just all very anxious and eager, both, to have that value. Of course, we have some predictions from the tax bills that we reviewed. I shared that information with you all back in May and at workshop. But yes, until you actually see that number hit the bank account, of course, it's still uncertainty a little bit, but it is by ACH, and so that will be a little bit faster than it had been years back, but.
Thank you. Anything else, Counselor?
No, that's all, thank you.
Street Department and Park Maintenance, Counselor Uselak.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. Well, I have to go back to the streets, and I have to thank Pastor Walton. He is in the 4th Ward and has been working diligently, opening up the church grounds and his Family Life Center. He has 60 people staying there right now. They have been cleaning and helping with all of the repairs. I think right now they could be on Broadway with the Andrean School, probably working on the roof. Pastor Walton has extended open arms to people that are in dire need of help to please contact him. He has been a great asset in my ward, the 4th Ward. He has the faith, hope. It's called the 8 Days of Hope. They travel the country. They do different types of repairs. They come where there are possibly something like what we just had, a tornado, and he is giving them space where to stay. His parking lot is full of the trucks and cars. If you drive by there, you will see the trucks that belong to the faith, the 8 Days of Hope, which I have been there and I appreciate it. They've also done work in other wards. 60th, I believe, 60th place, 61st, and this is my last report from him. Also, I have to give thanks to Pastor Walton and Maisha Jones. They contacted restaurants. They had an open day in the parking lot of the church with free box lunches, which consisted from Big Daddy's. It was ribs, chicken, and let me see what else. Ribs, chicken, and just a lot of food, including soup from the vegan restaurant. And that went on all afternoon, Saturday. That was June 13th. And he had some of his church members, including Maisha Jones, passing out the food. So I think that they have done an excellent job, and they are still at it. And I hope people realize if you need a helping hand, call Pastor Walton. He's always there, and if he can't do it, he'll put you in touch with someone. Is Pastor Walton still here, or did he leave? Oh, stand up, Pastor Walton. Please, thank you for all your help and everything that you have done. You've been a great asset to the 4th Ward. I have been working with him for 25 years, and I appreciate all the help that he is doing right now, including cleaning up our streets in the 4th Ward and other wards. So I have to thank you myself personally. And that's all I have on this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs.
Sure.
Council Affairs, Mr. Pettit.
Yes, Mr. President, we rescheduled our Council Affairs Committee meeting given the tornado disaster in town. We're going to have it Tuesday, July 7th at 5:30 before the Plan Commission workshop.
Personnel Policy,
What time?
Employee Benefits.
5:30, okay.
Councilor Hardaway.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do believe that there is an open position or 2 open positions with the Street Department Labor Grade 1. So please go on the My Merrillville app or the merrillville.in.gov under Human Resources. Check out the job posting. If you meet the qualifications, please apply. That posting should come down at the end of this week. So that is concludes my report.
Thank you. Environmental Affairs, Mrs. Uselak.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. First, I have to thank Matt Lake for the memo that you have given me on Kaiser Ditch. Thank you. It looks like the repairs are being made with the first phase, am I correct? Or they will be made completely?
Yeah, we will be mobilizing, very shortly, through the Lake County Surveyor's Office, of course, Lake County Drain, so it's
Yes.
Emerson, the Lake County Surveyor.
I read everything that Mr. Emerson had said. And also, I have to tell you, I wanted to call you today, but I was running short on time. On 75th and Hendricks, there is a storm sewer. And it does have the lid on it, but when people drive over it, there's a big thump. So I don't know if that has to be repaired, or maybe you could check on that. And one other thing, did you talk to Mr. Plazel regarding the storm sewer he was looking for on 75th Place where the streets flooded with rapid water?
Yeah, I called him on Friday, and talked to him for a while. He said he didn't recall if there were storm drains at 78th Place and Wilson Street. And so we had looked at that on Monday with our metal detectors, and detected they paved over those areas. Sometimes that happens with a contractor, and there was nothing detected. I looked at the original plans, 1961. I actually took pictures of them. I shared some of that with Jerry too, because it showed part of the area. But
So you did not detect anything that there was a storm sewer there, right?
It's all sheet flow, so it's all. But when the paving,
Yeah.
I talked to Steve about the paving. They're gonna have to reprofile just that corner. So
Okay.
he says it's correctable. They can take care of it. I did relay that back to Mr. Perez and let him know what we had found. So Steve, you had talked about this engineering. They talked to the paving contractor. They're gonna reprofile and redo that corner so it sheet flows into to Kaiser Ditch, because the Kaiser Ditch is just
Okay, very
just
good.
to the west of that.
Thank you, Matt.
I got pictures of it for you too.
And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you.
Public Safety, Councilor Hardaway.
Thank you, Mr. President. This could be a big report, but I won't make it a big report. What I will say is I would like to thank the residents in the town of Merrillville for doing what they can in light of the circumstances that we are faced in, of making sure and ensuring that the trees and branches and tree stumps are not in the street, causing a huge concern that cars can get through. So I want to thank the residents for that. I know that's a huge undertaking.
It's for Joe.
I also want to thank the Merrillville Police Department for their increase in patrols in those areas that have been affected, to ensure that the residents who were affected and impacted did not sustain loss from theft during this time, for looting, and also making sure that the public was safe. The fire department for knocking door to door and making sure that everybody got out of their homes or that they were safe within their structures during this time. This is one of those things that I've been here my whole entire life and I've never seen it. And so the laundry list of people that I need to thank. One, I want to thank the citizens of Merrillville first and foremost, but I will be comprising a list of public thank yous under the public safety as the chair.
Anything else?
That concludes my report, because I can get long-winded with this, but I won't.
Elections, public relations, and I hate to even mention this one, town beautification. Councilor Neal.
I guess we'll be working on town beautification. So,
Yeah.
the other thing we had to postpone, the ribbon cutting for our new, signs, gateway signs, so that's been postponed until after things settle down and we're a little bit back into what Merrillville is supposed to be, just a regular town versus a big cleanup area. And then from there, we'll look into, more into town beautification, just to make sure that we're back looking like we're supposed to look, like we used to be.
And better.
And better, definitely better. Because we are what? Part of the region. And that's all I have for that.
Thank you. Economic Development, Councilor Pettit.
Yes, Mr. President, we had both an RDC workshop and an RDC regular meeting. In the workshop, Bob Swentz came up and gave us an overview of the allocation areas and the draws that are going to be coming in. We also heard from Mitch Barloga and Tim Brown from Restoring Lake County. Councilor Hardaway is a part of that. And in the public meeting, we passed a resolution that would ask that we get 100% of our allocation for 2027. This is an annual report that the RDC has to submit. Mrs. Chilcott and Bob worked on that and got that into Gateway, and we passed a resolution on that. And then the commission decided to give $24,000 out of the allocation area for, and I apologize, Keisha, if I've got the name wrong, rebuilding South Lake County. They will typically do 12 houses, so we decided to give $2,000 a house as a part of that program out of the allocation area. We'll let Mr. Griffin and Mrs. Chilcott handle the distribution of that. So that is all.
I would like to add that those homes are in Merrillville. They are not other communities. So this money will be going towards restoring homes in Merrillville. And there have been applications. Those applications are closed. Those 12 homes will be identified, but they are going to go above and beyond this year because of the tornado impact. And so their reach is going to be bigger than those 12 homes.
Good. Thank you.
I can't put my address down.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Utility liaison.
No report. No report, President Bella.
Parks, Recreation, and the Dean and Barbara White Community Center. Mr. Pettit.
Mr. President, I'm going to defer to Jerry, but I will announce that our standing meeting for this Thursday, I have canceled due to the cleanup efforts and what we're going through on the north end of town. So there will be no meeting. I think I talked to Michael and Linda, and they sent that cancellation out, Jerry. So I'll defer in your department report.
Special committees tonight, abandoned and blighted properties. Council Sheet.
That report remains to be updated at a later time due to everything that has taken place.
Of course.
But thank you, Mr. President.
Special town projects.
No report at this time. Well, I guess this goes with the special town projects. Does the 4th go with that?
Sure.
Okay. So for the 4th of July, we are doing a joint venture with the Ross Township Trustee's Office, as we've done in the past, and so I'd like to make a motion to get this venture passed so that we can get it paid off for the 4th of July explosion, semi-centennial.
Need some more details. Some more details on.
Yes. And so before you all, you should have this memo from the Ross Township. Their 4th of July fireworks display is estimated cost at $30,000. Higher security details at $13,500. The rental of the golf carts at $8,400. With the total estimated event expenses at $51,900. It is our joint venture and partnership that we will share the event expenses of 50% of the total estimated amount, calculated as follows, where the town of Merrillville will share $25,950. Please note that these figures are estimates and are subject to change based on actual event day staff requirements to hire emergency service and security personnel. Final invoices supporting documentation will be submitted to the town of Merrillville upon receipt of all vendor and reconciliation of event expenses. We appreciate the town's partnership and commitment providing a safe and memorable community celebration for our residents. If anyone should have any questions about this venture, you can also most definitely reach out to Eric A. Blackman Sr., our Ross Township trustee. This is no different than we've done in the 2 years prior.
Did we receive detailed documentation from the vendors, like a copy of the invoice that shows 30,000, et cetera, golf cart rentals? Can we get that?
Did they send that over to you?
All I have is the detail on the invoice that we received. We don't have the supporting documentation.
Okay.
And we'll need that, right, for Joe? We'll have to have that attached.
State Board of Account.
Okay.
And Joe, would you be able to make sure you write up the jargon for both parties to sign that once you get the detailed information?
What do you mean?
The legal documentation for the town and the trustees?
The legal documentation they provide every year, just
Okay.
as they've done in the past, so
Okay.
it'll be consistent with what they've done before.
No problem. All right. Well,
Really just a copy of the vendor documents.
Chief Deputy is no longer here, but I'll make sure that she gets that taken care of.
Do we want to do that before we approve this estimated figure?
You can approve it contingent upon,
Receiving the documents.
Contingent upon receiving the documents.
contingent upon receiving the documents, yes.
I make a motion to approve this estimate
We're getting so
contingent upon receiving the documents.
It's right around the corner, isn't it?
Yes.
Is there a second on the motion?
That's seconded.
Any discussion further?
I do have a question. So this firework display agreement, this is just for the fireworks, because I see that it says town council shall, no shared expense amount paid allowed by the town of Merrillville through its town council shall exceed $27,000. So I know you just stated that they're unknowns. What was your quote again, 25?
$25,950.
So if we exceed 27,000, will we have to come back to this?
We would have to come back to it, but I don't think that we should exceed it because we didn't do that last year. The only thing that was different last year is we didn't have golf cart running run there. So I think we should be okay.
Any other questions or comments? Let's do roll call. Mr.
Ready?
Gainer?
All right,
I think so.
sure. Vice President Neal? We're doing a roll call vote.
She wanted to see where it was located.
Sure.
Take
your time.
On here, number 20.
So this is basically saying that we're not going to exceed it, so can we come back to it if it exceeds it? We can, so are we basically telling them that this is the amount that we're going to?
You have a do not exceed amount of $27,000. The estimate coming in right now is $25,900.
No, no,
Become,
that's, she's talking specifically the fireworks, Joe. So they're estimating fireworks at 30,000. Right? Weren't you talking about just the firework contract?
This is everything included, the fire and security details, the golf carts, and the fireworks.
Yes.
Right, but
So
you're
we
looking at the fireworks agreement
Yeah.
from the vendor.
Yes, we're looking at the fireworks
Okay.
agreement from the vendor.
That's what,
But before you
Right.
all, I gave you the actual
the
detail.
actual estimates, yeah.
Yes, the actual estimate.
Well, we never had to pay for a rental of golf carts before.
You know, but they do
And
come
what
in
about the
handy
fire
around
and
here.
safety, security details, 13,500? I always thought we just paid for the fireworks
We
before.
paid for
With the
security.
last 10 years of this celebration on July 4th, doesn't the trustee's office pick up what they are paying for and what they're talking about?
We split it, we share it.
We split it
Okay,
last
what are
year.
we sharing then? Tell me.
The fireworks, half of the fireworks cost, half of the fire and security costs, and
Okay.
half of the golf rental.
Do we do that before with other July 4ths? Okay.
at least the last two.
Oh, okay.
The last couple.
And the golf carts, we did that too last year?
No.
I don't remember
We
that.
didn't have that much in golf carts.
What? Golf carts is 8,000, that'd be 4,200 we'd be paying on golf carts. If we never, I don't think we ever took a vote on having golf carts there, do
So
we?
last
Not
year,
last
we used golf carts, but this year, the town has golf carts, but because the town of Merrillville has golf carts already. And so we have the same vendor, so the vendor said because we're gonna use those golf carts, they put it all in one bill. So Jerry, you can allude to
The
that.
golf carts for the parade.
For the parade, we're using the golf carts for the parade. And then
Oh, they will leave the parade and go to Hidden Lake?
they'll leave the parade and go to Hidden Lake,
Okay,
yes.
I got it.
Okay.
All right.
So, Marge, this is for the parade and the semi,
Quincentennial.
yes.
Okay,
It's the 4th of July exclusion.
Yes.
It's everything included.
Everything. is included.
okay.
Because it's all on the same day this year. Okay.
Yeah, this is one day.
It's a one-day event instead of 3 days now.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. Mr. January, now would you please call the roll?
Sure. Vice President Neal,
Yes.
Councilwoman Haynes Edwards,
Aye.
Councilwoman Chandler Felton,
Aye.
Councilwoman Yuzlak,
Yes,
Councilman Pettit,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hardaway,
Yes.
President Bella.
Abstain.
6 in favor.
6 in favor, motion carries. Moving on tonight to department and commission reports. Northern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, Ms. Hardaway.
Next meeting is July 16th.
Lake County Solid Waste Management District, our representative is Mrs. Neal.
Thank you, President Bella. The next hazardous waste collection is July 25th in Highland. It's on a Saturday at Highland Public Works from 9 to 2 p.m. and it's at 801 Kennedy Avenue.
The Shared Ethics Entity, Counselor Hardaway.
No report, no meeting scheduled as of today.
Anything from the Fire Territory Board, ladies?
No report
No
at this
report.
time.
Okay. Clerk's Office, Mr. January.
Sure. As of June 23rd today, we had $69,433,481.68. The previous month, at the end of May 31st, we had $381,884.50. Meaning we spent $2,887,902 since the previous period. We did receive a food and beverage check in the amount of $132,745.70, which brings that fund up to, wherever is that? I'm missing it. Excuse me. Right, so we had $2,358,601.44 in the food and beverage fund. And that concludes my report.
Question then, so of the $69 million that are in all accounts right now, how much of that is accounted for typical spending in the budget?
Typical spending in the budget? I mean, we're on budget, we spend about $2 million a month. The majority of it is payroll.
Okay. So my concern is that we announce these big numbers at the meetings, yet we sit at the same meeting and we talk about how money's gonna get tight. We're gonna have an $840,000 shortfall in the budget, but yet we announce these huge bank balances, which is all of our accounts for the town of Merrillville. I just think we're sending like a mixed message, and I wanted to ask you, Mr. January, can you also include like how much are accounts payables coming up?
Yeah, so, thank you, that's a very good question. So, this new software that we have, one of the requests that I have for them is traditional financial statement. Because what you're mentioning is something that most executives realize. You can't just look at the cash balance, you have to look at what your liabilities are, all of your assets, and determine what your owner's equity is. But because we have a cash basis of accounting, the financial software that we have does not want to report all of our outstanding debts. So a large portion of this $69 million that we have is debt. Because if you look at, from the time that I've taken office to now, our cash balance has increased. Our revenue hasn't increased. What's changed is the amount of debt that the town is in. We've increased the amount of debt, particularly since we just did the $33 million bond issue. So that's part of what's in there, because we haven't spent all of those funds on building the fire station. Once that fire station is complete, all of that money will be gone.
You can see how I'm saying it's misleading, right?
Oh, exactly. I totally agree. I'm just giving figures, but I look forward to giving more detail once I get all that information in one place.
I look at our police officers here tonight, and they're hearing all these big numbers, and we're gonna sit down with the FOP next week and negotiate a 3-year contract, and they're gonna think we're just rolling in dough up here, and we're not. And, you know, once a month, I feel like I'm really rich, until they take out the mortgage payment, the car payment, I buy food, I pay NIPSCO, and then I'm not so rich anymore. But man, one time a month, I think I've really arrived.
For a minute.
So I think we need to discuss how we can change reporting so that we're more straightforward and honest with the residents as far as our financial situation, you know. So let's talk some more about it and come up with a plan, you know.
I've got a plan.
Okay.
With the software.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Moving on to department reports, Jerry McCartney, Parks Department.
Yep, thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple things, not a lot to report. Sunset Market this Thursday at 4 o'clock, so we're gonna have that event for the community, for everyone to come out. There'll be food, drinks, and music.
Together.
Yeah. So that should be a big event, and it'll be outdoors. There'll be a stage and music, so encouraging everyone to come out and experience that. It'll be the first in the series of 4 this summer, so. There's a lot of trees in the parks that are down that we're working towards taking out the ones that we're able to and on the trails, and then also contracting outside to get those taken care of. We just finished all the trees in Wurtis Park. There were 2 very big trees there that needed removed, and we'll just keep working away at that. And then also, wanted to mention that we have the new website, which is awesome and way more accessible to the Parks Department. So I'm just going to direct everyone to merrillville.in.gov to check out the parks page, and you can see all the other small activities that are going on.
Sure. Can I add something? Jerry, when I grew up in Chicago, and we had a great park district. And one of the things we used to have is wood shop. And I believe right now, with all of the wood that's here, I've seen some oak trees that are almost like 6 feet in diameter. There's a lot that we can do with some of this product, and maybe we can work with the school district, use their wood shop, and give some kids something to do that's constructive. I don't care if it's making cutting boards, but we can take some of this wood versus just shipping it up. We can give them a project, and or maybe even have commission some artwork around the town to commemorate the experience that we had with this tornado this year. And I think those would be some good projects. Summer projects. It's a gift, and I think we have to figure out how to use it.
Mr. January, can you do us a favor, including Jerry, and contact the school district yourself and see if you can get cooperation?
I will certainly do it.
On that type of project?
I will certainly do it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Eric.
And President,
I'll help you if you do.
I just want to make a comment about the sunset in the park, is that what you call it?
Sunset Markets at the Beaton Barber White Center. And then we're supposed to have movie nights in the park at Stefik, but they've been getting rained out or canceled for other reasons.
So what is that event?
The Sunset Market is live music, food trucks, so entertainment, just a community event to get everyone together and come out and enjoy a Thursday night.
I mean, I know such a last minute like acts, but because of the devastation that we face in the town, maybe we can reach out to some of the organizations that are providing food and just draw more people to come out, to people who cannot purchase a meal, but just there to get a meal. That may be a nice event to kind of take their minds off things, a little entertainment.
Does that conclude your report, Jerry?
Yes.
Thank you. Stormwater management, you've been doing a lot of that, Mr. Lake.
Thank you.
You've earned your name.
Been very busy with the emergency response services and recovery assistance. And so on top of the tornadoes, we've had some substantial rain events as well. So we've been very busy doing some emergency projects. We got some that have been done, some being scheduled for tomorrow and throughout the week, including Indiana Place, 58th in Vermont, Ellsworth and Independence Hill at 3rd Edition, 53rd at Tyler Street. We're doing cleaning of the channel to Turkey Creek Level 6. So we've been extremely busy. Department with 3 people, so we're pretty thin. But I got to tell you, everybody in town has been working together. I see all the communications going back and forth. Got to thank the owner of the chateau who allowed us to do that laydown area across from the from his property at the chateau for all the debris. And obviously Ed Uriah, who's the lieutenant commander, has been doing phenomenal work. 97 grand, we got M&J Underground mobilizing, so for a 97 grand project, they'll be out there working very shortly. Kaiser Ditch, we got a briefing on that from Bill Emerson's correspondence. I was gonna present at the Little Cal at Southmore Park on June 17th, but because of the emergency response and all the activities, we're postponing that to July, so that'll be an ask of $353,000 from Little Cal cost share for the Southmore Park Phase 2 Drainage Improvement Project. Also had some coordination with Ryan Lysick today from Drive Clean Indiana. He's super interested in the grant for EVs. They cost share up to $33,000 per vehicle. So that's something that I told him we'd be interested in. Dyer did it. They got these electric Silverados, and they've been excellent for their fleet. So it's a way to get something very inexpensively in terms of our fleet replenishment. And you mentioned the recycling of the trees. I used to be the forester for the state of DNR, and there was a couple trees that were coming down at the governor's residence years ago. Frank and Judy O'Bannon had called me, and we had planned an event where the trees came down, and we got a portable sawmill out there. Wood miser cut them up into boards, and we sent them to industrial arts programs throughout Indiana within the schools. And they came back to the governor's residence and did an event where they unveiled everything that they had made. And it was not only the schools, it was craftsmen throughout Indiana and things like that, just to kind of showcase recycling efforts and what you can do. So sounds like a good idea that you guys have proposed. That's all I have.
Thank you, Matt. Chief Newsis, Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to take a moment to provide a brief report on the June 11th tornado and the Merrillville Police Department's response to it. First and foremost, I want to thank God that nobody was seriously injured or killed. That was an absolute miracle. This was an extremely challenging incident for us. As a tornado struck at right around dusk, it created significant obstacles, including limited visibility, because it was dark and all the lights were knocked out. It blocked roadways, it downed power lines, and we had widespread debris everywhere. Despite these conditions, our officers performed exceptionally well. We immediately began to follow the Merrillville Disaster Response Plan developed by Chief Uriah, and we coordinated our resources and worked together to protect our community during a rapidly evolving emergency. Since June 11th, the Merrillville Police Department has logged more than 1,000 hours of overtime focusing on the affected neighborhoods. This does not include the hundreds of extra hours that were worked by my command staff, which includes Assistant Chief Bassel that is here right now. Officers provided and continue to provide visible presence of protection to residents and property and help maintain order throughout the recovery process. In the days following the storm, officers addressed predatory tree service companies attempting to take advantage of residents and motivated them to go elsewhere. We also conducted proactive patrols and intervened in situations that could have led to criminal activities. While there were some rumors of looting, theft, and whatnot, these claims were not substantiated by report incidents. Our proactive deployment and highly visible patrols served as a strong deterrent. The Lake County Sheriff's Department also assisted, helping further saturate the area with visible patrols. I'm extremely proud of the men and women of this police department. They worked long hours under difficult conditions and demonstrated professionalism, compassion, and dedication throughout the event on their scheduled days on and off. I also want to recognize Assistant Chief Bassel for his tireless efforts from initial response through recovery, ensuring our operations remain effective and our community stayed safe. Assistant Chief Bassel, just like myself, is an exempt employee, meaning neither of us receive overtime or any type of compensatory time. Therefore, I commend his efforts and his commitment to the town. Finally, I would like to thank the Lake County Sheriff's Department, Crown Point, Lake Station, Hobart, and many other municipalities for assisting us. Their support was invaluable and deeply appreciated. Thank you to everyone who contributed to the Merrillville's recovery from this devastating storm, and let's keep all of those who suffered loss in our thoughts and prayers. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. Planning and Building, Ms. Shine.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Planning and Building Department would like to remind the residents that the department staff are available to answer questions regarding repairs and restoration of your property following the recent severe storm. Staff can provide helpful information about licensed contractor, required permits, and the permitting process to help ensure repairs are completed safely and in compliance with applicable codes and regulations. Residents are encouraged to exercise caution when approached by contractors offering repair services. Before signing any contract or agreement, please verify that the contractor is properly licensed and take some time to carefully review all proposals. We understand that this is a stressful and challenging time for many property owners. Please give every decision thoughtful consideration and please do not hesitate to contact the Planning and Building Department for assistance throughout this recovery process. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sheila. Town Administration, excuse me, go ahead.
Counselor would like for you to give our telephone number, 219-769-3631. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Town Administration, our Town Manager, Mr. Griffin.
Mr. President, Madam Vice President, members of the council, Mr. Clerk Treasurer, we have before you the staff report, which is prepared by Ms. Rosas for you. Unless you have a specific question about that, I hope it speaks for itself. I did want to remind the department, the council that we have two retiring. One is not really retiring, but trying to seek an opportunity in a new place. That's our street director, Mr. King. His last day will be Friday. And we also have a retirement that is going to conclude the Friday of this week as well of our deputy fire chief, Jim Rowley. They both have been outstanding servants, public servants, servant leaders, servant-hearted leaders for the town of Merrillville. They will be missed, but we wish them well in their next chapter. Unless you have any questions for me, Mr. President, I'll be pleased to be seated.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Moving on tonight to general orders, we have ordinance 26-04, ordinance of the town of Merrillville, Lake County, Indiana, authorizing an additional appropriations in the 2026 budget for the Parks non-reverting operating and capital funds.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Pettit,
Second.
by Councilor Shi, for approval of ordinance 26-04. See the amounts there. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Mr. January, roll call, please.
Vice President Neal.
Yes.
Councilwoman Haynes Edwards. Councilwoman Chandler Felton.
Aye.
Councilwoman Uselak.
Yes.
Councilman Pettit.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hardaway.
Aye.
President Bell.
Aye.
7 in favor.
7 in favor, that motion carries. Also tonight, we have ordinance 26-14. It's an ordinance to restore an appropriate, understated, unreserved cash on deposit to the Corporation General Fund, Planning and Building Department, and Parks non-reverting capital fund.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Uselak and a second by Mr. Pettit for approval. Open for discussion. Hearing none, Mr. January, roll call, please.
Vice President Neal.
Yes.
Councilwoman Haynes Edwards. Councilwoman Chandler Felton.
Aye.
Councilwoman Uselak.
Yes.
Councilman Pettit.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hardaway.
Aye.
President Bell.
Aye.
7 in favor.
7 in favor, that motion carries. Moving on tonight to resolutions. We have Resolution 26-28. It is a transfer of funds resolution, $6,000 decrease in the diesel fuel account, and a $6,000 increase in the uniforms account for the local road and street budget. The net effect is 0. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Resolution.
Counselor Neal, Counselor Shi, thank you. Open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that motion carries. Moving on tonight to Resolution 26-29.
Yeah.
No,
Not on the agenda.
it's on the agenda because we already approved that at the special council meeting.
I mean, it is on the agenda, but.
Well, it's in the package, yeah. How about Resolution 26-32? Again, a transfer of funding, decrease $45,000 from the wheel tax, and an increase of the same amount to a variety of wheel tax line items.
I motion to approve resolution 26-32.
Thank you, Vice President Neal. Is there a second?
Second.
Counselor Shi for a second. Questions or comments? Questions or comments? Something wrong?
Nope.
You good?
Is this 26, 28?
No, no, it's
32.
it's actually this is Resolution 2632, transfer of funds, $45,000 decrease and a $45,000 increase, and that affected 0. We all together? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Moving on tonight to Resolution 26-31. This is a resolution of the sense of the Town Council affecting the vision for Merrillville's future involving community partnership and investment. This is the plan laid out about the YMCA and selling the property to the YMCA, the Crossroads YMCA in Merrillville.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Uselak,
Second.
second by Counselor Pettit. Open for discussion.
Again, I am not opposed to selling the Dana Barber Community White Center
Wow.
to the Y. But again, I want to make sure that our residents have something else in place before we make any type of sale commitment to the community center, to the Y.
Yeah, so if the council remember on the workshop, we talked about this. This is the first step in moving forward. And then what we could do is authorize the structure point to do the building design for the park offices and some other recreational rooms and possibly a gymnasium behind Town Hall, where we would also have free walking path for residents and things like that, and free open gym, I believe is what we just talked about, right?
Not free, but yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right, free. Yeah, I don't think,
Mr. President?
nothing free anymore, yeah.
Mr. President, I know there's a motion and a second on the floor.
We're open for discussion, Mr. Pettit.
Well, I'm going to make a secondary motion under old business.
I don't know if
And
you can do that while we have a
Can
motion.
we do that, Michael, while you get a motion?
Why don't we ask the town attorney?
Motion's
Well, the purpose of the motion, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be, we can take this action, but as we all agreed on, we do need another building. And we, at the last council meeting, agreed to hire Structure Point for $45,000 once the building is sold. This building, Joe, may not close until October, November. We've lost a lot of time. My follow-up motion is going to be that if this resolution passes tonight, we modify that motion from 2 weeks ago, and we let Structure Point begin tomorrow morning designing this building in back of us. We don't wait for the close of it's gonna take too long, and we're gonna waste a lot of time where and we're gonna have to make a decision, what's the building gonna cost?
Yeah.
Anybody know?
That's the main idea.
I don't know what the building's gonna cost, I have no idea. We know we have $4 million in the gift as seed money, but we don't know. We've gotta let these guys, we gotta cut these guys loose and design this thing, talking to Jerry, talking to the Parks Committee, talking to the council, and do this now as opposed to waiting. Joe, am I correct? How long will it take? This could take, how long to close on this?
Sean, you're talking 90 to 120 days at least.
You've lost that planning that we could be planning, Jerry could be planning this, and we can get an idea of what this is going to cost us, if that's what we all want to see happen in back here on the 16 acres.
It just seems like it was a big rush to me, and then I wanted to make sure that we got estimates from everybody and not just Structure Point for 45 grand to design and build it, or what that looks like.
Any other discussion? I don't know if you've changed the motion at all, that was comments.
This is comments. I mean, the motion is on the floor to approve the resolution, Mr. President.
I have a comment on the resolution. While, at this time, Ward 7 does not support the sale of the community center, there is, once again, I'm just one vote. If it does go through, though, my concern, as well as Ward 7's concern, is who's going to pay for this new building? We haven't discussed that, and therefore, I think that's the big issue for me with sense of the council, when we haven't even established who is going to fund the new building. I know we have $4 million. $4 million is not going to build 4 walls in this economy. So we haven't established our park board, we haven't established the structure on how to pay for it, where that money is coming from. And so there are so many unknowns before I can even go back to Ward 7 and say, this is what I can present to you, and as an alternative to the Y taking over and the community still having a place to go.
So let's take this straight to. So Joe, this is just a sense of the council. This isn't telling the Y to, bring us a check for $23 million, right? This is just allows them to take the next steps to see what has to be done. This is all part of a process. I thought we really discussed it.
We're trying to continue the process proactively down the road.
If Structure Point or whomever comes back and says it's gonna cost $20 million to build a building, well, that doesn't make sense, and we're not gonna sell the community center. Of course. And we still can tell them, no, we're not selling it now.
So do they?
But if it comes back and it's $4 million, we have the money to pay for it,
I'm just trying to figure out, why do we need a sense of the council in order for them to move forward? If it's something that they really want to do, then they'll move forward with it on their own and not have to have a consensus from us to see if later on down the line it's going to pass.
Well, because for them to move forward, it's gonna cost them money to do all the legal work and everything else involved. I mean, we're just trying to be a good seller of a property, if that's what we want to do. That's all it's about.
Mr. Griffin, do you have any clarification on having the sense of the council? Is it something, a usual procedure, or unusual procedure, a necessary procedure, or unnecessary procedure?
Mr. President, with your permission?
Absolutely.
Madam Vice President, thank you for asking. This has been discussed at the staff level and with the leadership of the council. We feel that we need to know because this could take even longer than 120 days, we don't expect that we're going to be able to present anything to you before 120 days in terms of recommendations, but we want to know if we should have staff resources dedicated to moving forward. We think that there's some things here that are worth exploring. We'd like to know the sense of the council, and that's not an uncommon tool. At least in my former billet, we did it all the time. Once we know that, then we can take steps. The beauty of this is it doesn't bind the council to a deal it doesn't want. It doesn't commit you to moving forward if in fact we don't have the resources for a successor building. And frankly, I felt we still had to work out the details. Everything had been discussed, and we have representations which we think were made to us in good faith. But I'm going to ask Mr. Svetnoff to memorialize them in the form of a contract as we move forward to see if this is something that we're serious about doing. This vote's necessary for us to commit more resources, as well as for the people offering us this huge opportunity. If we know that there's at least, provided we meet all the T's and cross all the T's, dot all the I's, then we can move forward. So this, again, I like this instrument because it tells you the ideas that you have. It will give us a course to follow to get it memorialized. And if in the end we find it's too expensive to have a successor building, or we can't meet terms on the other things we informally talked about, then the council's free not to move forward until you finally approve the agreement itself. But we want to get a sense of where everyone's at so that we can decide if we want to commit staff resources. There's a lot of things that compete for our attention, as you know, especially in light of the disaster, and we just want to be good stewards of our administrative energies for you. That's all the department heads that will be involved in this, as well as myself. I hope I've been responsive.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin.
So are those resources just people resources or financial as well?
Is this something that they requested of us, or is this something that we're offering to do as a goodwill?
We decided to initiate that ourselves. It was not requested, I don't believe. I'm not aware of it being requested by the other party.
Who's we?
The town of Merrillville, collectively. I know it doesn't include you, Madam Councilwoman.
Thank you.
May I be seated?
Thank you.
Mr. President, one of the things that I wanted to mention, this is just minor, but we use the language in section 2 several times in A and B that we're transferring the property. Transfers typically take place between one not-for-profit to another. This is a sale.
Okay, thank you. See, we're allowed to actually move property that the town owns to another nonprofit. We can't sell a piece of property we have to ABC Gymnasiums. Mr. Griffin, go ahead.
I beg your pardon. Transfer is a term of art in the statute. It also means lease, dispose, and sell.
Okay, all right. Thank you for correcting.
No worries. Anything else? Any other discussion? Very well. Let's do a roll call vote on this because I'm sensing some very support. So, Mr. January, let's call the roll.
Sure. Vice President Neal.
I'm having just a little bit of a problem with this at this time, and I just want to make it known that I am for the sale of the Parkland Dean Center. I just don't want us to do anything that's unnecessary. So I'm just trying to get a straight clarification that this portion is necessary. I do agree the necessary part is to find out what a new building will cost us, because we really can't move forward without that. So I don't understand why we can't do that without doing this. Does that make sense, what I'm
We
saying?
wanted to do that in the workshop, but you said you guys wanted to do something in a process, have a process. So that's what we're doing. We voted down the $45,000 estimate.
Sure.
I thought we just deferred it.
No, we did
No,
not
we
vote
did
down.
not. We voted on the structure point contract with the condition that it would not go into effect until the sale was completed. So therefore, we need to turn to Joe. We voted in a public meeting, if we check the minutes, and we awarded that programming proposal to Structure Point. We just put a start date.
But you put a condition on it, though.
We put a start date on it, a potential start date.
Yeah.
Is that contract been signed, Michael?
That's why I said I would like to
Condition was
see
to
other
approve
companies
this,
put an estimate.
wasn't it, Joe? The sense of the council ordinance?
I don't think so.
I don't think that was a condition to the approval of the American Structure Point contract. But there was discussion, Rick, as to more of a process, and one of the things to discuss was the sense of the council ordinance for resolution.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there's still a motion on the floor, Mr. President.
We're waiting for Counselor Neal to vote or abstain, or we could say pass and we'll come back to you.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Did you say abstain?
Yes.
Councilwoman Haynes Edwards?
No.
Councilwoman Chandler Felton?
I guess for my take on the situation, I'm in agreement with what everything Councilor Niels had stated, because I'm not real sure as to why we have to do this now as opposed to, and along with getting some other estimates from some other companies besides Structure Point. So with that, I would have to abstain as well.
Not that we have anything against Structure Point, but it's just always been run to Structure Point, and I would like to see some other people put a bid in.
Councilwoman Yusler?
Yes.
Councilman Pettit?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hardaway?
At this time, Ward 7 is a no.
President Bella?
Aye.
All right, 3 in favor and 3 abstentions.
There needs to be 7 votes, I believe.
Yeah, 4 abstentions.
Thank you.
Noes and 2 abstentions. and
No, there's, hold on.
2 abstentions.
Wait, yeah.
How did
There's
Shauna vote?
there's 3 approval, there's 3 approval,
2 noes.
there's 2 noes and 2
2
abstentions.
Correct.
You all in agreement? Motion fails. Moving on to Resolution 26-32, I think this was added in our new, is that right, Mr. Griffin?
We already voted on this.
We took care of that.
We already voted on this.
You went out of order and took this one.
Ah, fine. Let me thinking ahead.
You did 32 before 31.
Okay. I will announce that the next council meeting is July 14th at 6:30. The town parade is July 4th, starting at 11 a.m. And the Merrillville Job Fair is July 30th at 11:30 at the Dean and Barbara White Community Center. We are adjourned. Thank you all.